The Rust Primitive Game Mode update has released with a whole bunch of new content, including a new DLC with a Knight Armor skin for the road sign set, medieval style skins for the single and double sheet metal door, a new AK skin that looks like it's straight out of a treasure chest, a medieval style skin for the box, and a medieval style barricade skin. This update brings a bunch of new features like shields, which you can use to block enemy attacks, the new mini crossbow, which shoots 4 arrows at a time. There's also the 4 new siege weapons, one of them being the catapult, which introduces a new way of raiding. And we've covered the entire development of these in my previous videos over the past few months, so if you haven't caught up on my Rust updates playlist, I suggest that you go do so, because we talk about everything else that goes on in the Rust development as well. A new feature has also been added that allows you to DM your friends on Discord from the Rust in-game chat. The new horse rework has also released, which is going to make it so much easier to traverse around the new terrain, along with the new ragdoll system if you accidentally bump into something too quickly. And then the best part about this whole update is the introduction of a new way to play Rust through the primitive game mode, and there are tons of servers that you can find to go try it out for yourself if you haven't yet. And as always, make sure you go check out the full list over on the Rust blog of all of the additions, changes, and fixes that have been released. If you purchase the Willipet Boots collaboration with Rust, you can now start to redeem your codes to get the in-game item. And in case you haven't heard, there's a new round of Twitch drops going on right now until the 16th of February, one of them being my own, which is the Tiger Bearskin Rug. And this is a general drop that you can get from watching anybody in the Rust category with drops active. And I've been playing on the Art of Rust server. If you want to come hang out when you load into the server, you can type /town to come find the main area where most people are at. This is an art server, a creative server where people do awesome builds. There's a ton of plugins, and most people on here are painters, artists that are here to do very creative things in the world of Rust. So just a heads up, this is not your typical Rust server. PvP is disabled. When you teleport to the town, you can cross over this bridge that I made and find my base right over here. So right after I upload this video today, I'm going to be loading straight into the server if you want to come join and experience a new way to play Rust. If you've never heard of this server, they have a bunch of crazy plugins that allow you to do some really cool things with building and wallpapers. You can see there's a backpack on your hotbar where you can store items that persist between wipes so you never lose anything. So yeah, come check it out. This is home to a lot of very talented people, including Monstera, who's the creator of my Tiger Skin Twitch drop, which you've only got around 8 more days to claim this for yourself. Twitch drops are not tradable, so this is your only chance to get it. Since our last update video, there's a few things that we haven't covered yet that have released this month. So we'll go over this real quickly before getting into the progress on Cooking 2.0 and the new jungle features. The incendiary ammo shot out of a catapult will set off a seismic sensor, as well as the propane bomb, so if you're getting raided by one of these, you can get a notification through the Rust Plus app. And the stone boulder has been changed into a scatter shot so that it covers a larger area, making it easier for you to hit your target when using it. And this one will not set off the seismic sensor. You can also place the incendiary and propane ammo around enemy bases to explode them that way, and they'll also explode if the thing they're deployed on is destroyed, like a twig. So you can see I am not authorized on the TC of this base, and I'm able to place the propane and incendiary ammo around it and then shoot it to ignite it. And you do not need to shoot all of them all at once. You can shoot one thing and it'll cause a chain reaction of explosions to occur. And this is a very cool feature like the C4 where you can set it to become a timed explosive set off by a detonator, making for some very interesting ways that you can set up raid traps for your enemies when they're not at home and then come back and online them like this. I'm excited to see what people do with this. This is the default vanilla tech tree. We're in the level 1 right now. You can see that there's the shield, the mini crossbow over here, as well as the siege tower. And then over in the tier 2, you can find the other shield as well as all of the siege weapons and the ammo for them. And the same thing applies for the new restricted tech tree in the primitive game mode as well. You can find all of them in the same location, except the explosives is now in the tier 2 because the tier 3 is disabled in the primitive game mode. Another cool feature of the ballista, which we haven't covered yet, you can see we've got our buddy here sitting in a fully armored vehicle, and if we load in a piercer bolt into the ballista and shoot it at his seat, we've gotten a hit marker, and if we come check it out, he is no longer in the vehicle because he is slumped over outside. The piercer bolt can shoot through armored vehicles, allowing you to hit the people inside of it, and it does a decent amount of damage. And then the hammerhead bolt, if you hit an enemy with it, will cause them to temporarily ragdoll if it doesn't kill them, as well as being the only ballista bolt that does explosive damage to doors only. And you can see here they do 20 damage per bolt. We've fired 2 bolts at this door and it's done 40 damage. Also, the second type of ballista, which is a base deployable, has been disabled on tugboats, but we might be able to see this in the future. There's probably some bugs going on with it. And it looks like your complaints were heard about it costing 200 HQM to repair the head of the battering ram. In the commits it says it's 150 HQM, maybe I missed one or something, but over on the main staging branch it's showing 56 once it's broken, so let me know in the comments if that's what it actually is right now on the officials. There's been some changes to the damage that you'll take on motorbikes and bicycles along with the new ragdoll system that released this update. And 2 convars have been added for server owners if you want to disable the ragdolling on the horses and players on your server. Another change that's been released this month for admins is a stack button added to the items menu in the F1, which makes it useful when handing out items that have stack sizes that are less than 100 or 1000. And another admin command that was released this month was a clear trees radius command followed by a value. And there's many use cases for this to help you speed up clearing out trees in an area, potentially to reduce lag. There's also a clear bushes radius, which I don't think was released just yet because it came after the update, which after that you should now be caught up on, and we can move on to the future of Rust development, starting off with the bees. I'm a little bit out of my lane on this one, but there's this thing called a nucleus, which I think includes the queen bee. So if you harvest a natural beehive, which are going to spawn on the trees, you can create your own bee colony so that you can harvest honeycomb, which turns into a honey jar somehow, which I'm thinking is something that's going to be in the crafting recipe for the warming and cooling teas that are coming with Cooking 2.0. So I'm very excited for this to all get merged to staging at some point soon so that we can test it out for ourselves. It sounds very interesting. We're also going to be able to grow wheat very soon, like how you can grow corn and pumpkins and all that. And there'll be a way that you can craft this up into a bread loaf. And the wheat will probably be included somehow in the recipes for the 8 types of pies that are getting set up. And the final new thing that we know is coming with the cooking update is a single planter pot. Also, if you remember, there's a triangle planter that got set up a while back that will most likely be releasing with the cooking update as well. The train tunnel entrance has been shrunk in size and the underground tunnels have been raised up so that it doesn't take forever for you to get down into them. The hopper popped back up again and we can see that it will have the ability to harvest items from corpses, which is going to be very good for trap bases. We've got some more information on one of the armor slot inserts, the lead plate, which is going to have some additional radiation protection. Junk piles are going to now require 1 minute and 30 seconds of no players around them before they will despawn, instead of checking once per 30 seconds and despawning right in front of you, which in some cases means that you missed a barrel that you were running to. The progress on the AI for the new Tiger is starting to get crazy, and if you look at them, they'll stop and notice, and if you stare at them for too long, they'll run away. They'll also have the ability to hear you hit ore, trees, or shoot a gun, and even if you're out of sight, they will start moving towards you to stalk you. The crocodiles are also getting set up and they'll be spawning in the swamp, riverside, or lakesides only, and they'll prefer to be in the water when roaming or fleeing, unlike other animals who try to avoid it. There's a new command that's been added for everybody to use called print binds so that you can see a full list of all of the keybinds that you have. Another command that's been added for admins is the bypass hold to place duration, which removes the timer that it takes, for example, to place a high external wall. Speaking of which, don't forget there's going to be some skins coming out for the first time for high external walls pretty soon. And progress still continues on performance and optimizations for the game in the background, but if you're still losing your mind about getting 15 FPS on your computer from 2011, feel free to complain in the comments. And finally, there's been a fix for something that's been very annoying, which is a flickering in the campfire furnaces and fireplace. Now you're all up to date, come join me on the Art of Rust server, and don't forget to go claim your Drizza Tiger Skin rug over on the Rust Twitch Drops website.